So why don't organizations prioritize the end user experience when it comes to measuring help desk performance? I see this as two main reasons. One is a misalignment in priorities for organizational leaders. Them, secondly, not seeing what behaviors are maybe flying underneath the radar. And for example, users bypassing security protocols through bring your own device processes that are maybe too burdensome for a user to walk through, so they're going to bypass some of those protocols, or data trends that can show you how to optimize your IT service delivery to increase that employee retention and job satisfaction. Some of these gains can be happening within metrics that are tracked during onboarding, right? What is that time to value that individual is able to learn their role, be impactful in their role, and what is that time today versus what is that time that I can increase if I introduce some of these DEX score mechanisms that are going to help me make a data-driven decision to improve the experience overall, improve that efficiency and that time to efficiency for those individuals that are coming into those roles for your organization, and ultimately impact the ROI of the business and what you're investing in on those DEX systems. What are the digital employee metrics that are the most important for IT to measure? I see this as there's a lot, but to distill it down to the most valuable, device telemetry is really important. You need indicators that include things like device age, processor speeds, boot degradation, etc. The devices that individuals use today to do their day job, it's mission critical that those operate and are as efficient as possible, and that when you have that telemetry and you can action more quickly against some pending issues. For support related issues on DEX and the digital employee experience, you really need to be watching what are the number of open incidents coming into support. Is that trend for consumption expected? Is it not expected? And then what are things within the consumption of support they're going to let you understand the metric, and if it's really moving the needle in a positive way, such as time to resolution. What was, if you're tracking an effortless scoring system. So in my teams today, we do track an effort score. So at the close of every incident, we ask that consumer what they would rate the ease and effort in terms of getting help and getting to a solution. And then ultimately customer satisfaction, that's kind of a default metric that every organization should be tracking. And if you're supporting customers and partners, CSAT by default, right? Every organization does. What about your internal customers, right? Are you tracking CSAT there? I think that one's really important. Other metrics around the applications, so including indicators for load times, errors, maybe user interactions within those systems or within those applications. If you have mission critical applications that are paramount to have an individual using and consuming, what are the metrics behind that to help you understand if there's issues with that or not? And then finally, some security metrics are really important. So with indicators including vulnerability scan data and maybe anti-malware versions, things that you can use to understand if your service posture is where it needs to be. So how does access to DEX metrics enable organizations to improve ITSM and overall employee productivity and satisfaction? It highlights those areas of your IT service delivery that are creating friction with your consumers. So by identifying the friction points, it allows you to make an informed decision around what's best for the solution to facilitate in that moment in time to make that a better outcome, right? So this may be creating an automated workflow to prevent the need to speak to the service desk, or making sure that complex issues are assigned intelligently at the opening of the case to the best capable resource to address it, so that you're not wasting iterations of time by having to route tickets and cases to individuals who may not be the subject matter expertise in what the issue is being identified as. So why is it important for organizations to integrate their ITSM platform tool with other key business functions? It's the ultimate silo breaker, as it allows access to the critical business data that helps you drive not only your service desk experience, but your overall internal and external customer experience. So a well-integrated ITSM system facilitates this stance change from a reactive support experience to now a more proactive support experience. You are making your ITSM system smarter by allowing it to connect intelligently and neurologically, perhaps, right, with neurons to your other critical systems in your infrastructure. And then you're better capable of actioning on what's being bubbled up into your ITSM systems. And it becomes that hub of service delivery and that hub of capabilities for your IT team to be able to quickly assess and take action on pending issues within your organization. So what's the first step in integrating your ITSM platform? It's really to map out your current and future state of your systems, your integrations, the outcomes that you're expecting, and the key objectives. Now, from there, once you've identified that, both current and future state, you can then identify where is that ITSM integration going to really help me as an organization and as an individual and as a leader, both meet and accelerate those current objectives. You also need to be able to make sure that you understand what's the impact of not integrating your ITSM system. That really helps you identify where the key gaps are and what are those milestones within that integration that are going to help realize your value more quickly based off of that integration that you would bring into your ITSM system.